So here we are inside of LumenRT 2015, and I'm going to walk you through each of the major features. Let's start with loading a terrain. Click the terrain icon and let's load the island terrain. And once it's loaded, let's take the object here and move it using the object manipulation tool to higher ground. And we'll take it and using the vertical slider, move it into the ground. Let's go ahead and add an ocean using the same terrain tool. Clicking the ocean body, and there's our ocean. You can manipulate various aspects of the ocean by using the ocean menu. We can change the direction of the waves, the agitation, and the murk depth. So let's make this a little less murky by increasing the depth here. And if you go underneath, you can see we have some very nice caustics as well. So let's add a few fish here to the scene by going to our character menu and adding some animals, in this case fish. So I'll select a few fish here, and then using the object placement tool, I'll just place them in randomly around here like so. And there we have our fish, and they're automatically placed underneath the water. So let's move on to terrain sculpting and use some of these tools. So let's use the raise brush. I'll grab it here and you can see the terrain's being raised. Let's use the lower brush and just brush and the terrain becomes lower. And the flattening tool will flatten it to a specific height. The stitch tool will actually raise or lower the terrain to a height that's near the adjacent geometry. The terrain painter is used in much the same way. You just click on a material and begin brushing. If you want, you can load a custom material by clicking the little three dots here. I'm going to load another different material here and begin painting with that. Let's demonstrate how to paint plant populations. So we select our plant tool and let's select a few palm trees here. And using the brush tool, we're going to just brush these palms in like so. We can adjust the scale, and I'm going to make it a little smaller, so it will jitter the size of this to be smaller, and I can paint them like so. And on this side, and if you make a mistake like I did earlier, I can just select an individual instance and delete it. One of the really cool features of LumenRT 2015 is the ability to paint seasonal trees. So let's go into our tree menu and select a few seasonal trees and brush these in like so. And then we can go up to the time slider and actually change the season. You can see the colors of the trees changing. You can manipulate any object precisely by using the object placement tool. In this case, we're going to place some individual plants precisely in the middle of these pots here. So I select a plant and individually place it, and then using the left mouse button I can slide it backwards or forwards to change the size. I can also use the object manipulator to individually rotate and move the plant, or scale it in this case, like so. LumenRT has a complete material editor, so we can go in here and select a material using the eyedropper tool, in this case the stone material. And I'll select that, and you can change the bump on it. You can see that it has a much nicer looking surface now. You can also change the material properties of things like plants and flowers. So let's go over here and change the color of these rose petals to a light pink. And what's really cool is that you can actually load in specific materials. So let's change this flat grass image into a 3D grass by just loading the material. Let's cover how to create motion paths. So let's add a character here, and then let's go to the object editor and go into the motion path editor. I'm going to move a few of the waypoints here, and like so, and then I'm going to close it off, and then you can adjust the running speed. One of the really cool things is that if you change the terrain, the motion path will automatically adapt to the change in the terrain. So in this case, it will adjust itself so that the runner goes over the bumps. Let's cover how we access BIM information. First, go to the settings menu and make sure that BIM information is enabled. And then when it is enabled, you'll see when you select an object, it will be highlighted in blue. And when you click on that, the information pops up with all the details about that specific object, if there's BIM information included. Layers work the same way. Go to the setup menu, click on the layers, and you can click layers on and off like so to make them visible or invisible. Now let's add a section. Go into the setup menu, click sections, and we're going to add a vertical section here, and then pan back, and let's grab the handles. Using the object manipulation tool, you can move it in and out, or if you like, you can rotate it. Let's discuss the atmosphere editor. So click the atmosphere icon and we will adjust some of the atmospheric parameters. You can change the time of day. You can change the sun angle by moving the north angle. You can also change the weather from overcast and change the amount of haze in the atmosphere to make it more clear or less clear. And let's try to create more of a sunset scene here. So I'm going to move the sun around so we can see it reflecting off the water here. I'm going to change the cloud cover. I'm going to adjust the haze a bit. And now we've got a very nice looking sunset scene. And that's it. Thanks for watching.